ॐ सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ॐ ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्त देहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिव समारंभां शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरु परम्पराम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। Let's take a sankalp. Okay, so we've finished looking at the Sthula Shareeram. We've finished looking at the Sukshma Shareeram in detail, Pura analysis. And we have also seen the Kaarana Shareeram in a great detail. All right, Prayal, I'll do that. Thank you. All right, so Kaarana Shareeram. So we said that Kaarana Shareeram, it is the big bag of all our Punya Papa Karma Phalas stored in that, because of which we are going to keep getting infinite Sthula and Sukshma Shareeram. So basically, it is like a storehouse where infinite unmanifested or potential Sukshma and Sthula Shareeram are stored. It is like a seed, we said. It is like a bijam, right? It is the bijam from which our infinite, different Sukshma and Sthula Shareeram, they evolve from the Kaarana Shareeram. We saw that the material for the Kaarana Shareeram is nothing but the same Pancha Mahabhutas only, but in the causal form. And we gave the logic for that, ki jo material, whatever is the material of the cause, the same material will be there in the effect. Okay, the Karanam and the Karyam will have the same material configuration. Like we saw the example of the pot and the clay. So clay का जो material होगा, जो matter होगा, clay जिससे बना होगा, the pot will be made of the same thing, right? So in the same way, the Kaarana Shareeram is also made up of the Pancha Mahabhutas only, just the form is different. Sukshma Shareeram में सूक्ष्म पंच महाभूतास होते हैं, स्थूल शरीरम में स्थूल ग्रॉस पंच महाभूतास होते हैं, कारण शरीरम में कॉजल और या तो कारण, the very subtle, the subtlest form of the panch mahabhuta. So that is the raw material. Then we were looking at the parts. What are the components of the pancha mahabhutas? The components are nothing but the infinite sthula and the sukshma shareeram. Then we saw that what is the function of the Karana Shareeram. Function क्या होता है? The Karana Shareeram is, it acts as a storehouse or a depot, a repository, where all the infinite sthula sukshma sharirams, they are stored. So before and after the pralay and before the next srishti, they are stored in there, they are resolved in there. And when the next srishti comes about, oh, 1 second. All right, the video and audio is hanging. Just 1 second. Sorry. Okay, I hope it should be better. All right, so the function is that it acts as a storehouse. It acts as a repository where the sthula and the sukshma shariram, they get resolved. They get resolved at the time of pralay, and then from the same storehouse, from the same Kaarana Shareeram, they are then projected back. They are then thrown out again at the time of the next srishti. Okay. Then we were looking at the nature of the Kaarana Shareeram. So the first aspect we saw that the nature of the Kaarana Shareeram, the first aspect is that it is anadi, whose beginning cannot be conceived by us. Okay, so we can say that it is right beginningless because its beginning cannot be conceived by us. It cannot be comprehended by us, right? And we gave the logic, the comes after the Sukshma Shariram comes out, right? So before the Buddhi comes, we cannot talk about time. Time can be comprehended only after the intellect comes into being, the Buddhi comes into being. So Kaarana Shareeram, we say that it is anadi. Then we spoke about the life of the Kaarana Shareeram, the lifespan. We said that the Kaarana Shareeram has got the longest lifespan. It has got way longer lifespan even than the Sukshma Shariram. So, just 1 second. Is anyone there in the... All right. Yeah, so the Kaarana Shareeram. So then we asked that when does the Kaarana Shareeram die? When does it disintegrate? जैसे स्थूल शरीर तो हमें पता है, when the death of the physical body happens, it disintegrates, it merges with the sthula panchamahabhutas. That is simple. Sukshma Shariram, we had said that it degenerates or disintegrates when at the time of pralay. At the time of pralay, when the whole universe gets resolved, that time it degenerates, it disintegrates and merges with the Sukshma Panchamahabhutas. Now, Kaarana Shareeram, it has such a long life, but it still ends. And it ends only Jnana Anantaram. So when we get Atma Jnanam, when we get what we call moksha, when we get self-knowledge, that is when this Kaarana Shareeram, it disintegrates. तब तक क्या होता है? तब तक, like, just imagine that एक tree है, okay? So tree, which we can call the Sthula Shareeram of the tree, it has its Sukshma Shareeram also, and it has the Kaarana Shareeram also. Now tree, if we say, जब हम ट्री को पूरा डिस्ट्रॉय कर देते हैं, ओके, सपोज वी लाइक चॉप इट ऑफ, वी बर्न इट ऑफ, वी टोटली in the perceivable sense, we completely destroy it. Okay. अब वो ट्री पूरा जल गया, पूरा डिस्ट्रॉय हो गया, पर शायद उसका एक सीड किधर तो बच गया है. Say it was an apple tree and a seed is got left. Now that seed, we say that okay, the sthula sukshma shariram has gone, but that seed, it has the potential to grow into another tree, which again has the potential to grow into other hundreds of trees, which leads to a big forest. एक पेड़ में से 10 दूसरे पेड़, उसमें से 10 दूसरे पेड़, ऐसे करके one seed has the potential to turn into an entire forest. तो जब तक वो सीड डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं होगा, एक सीड भी अगर बच गया है और वो जब तक डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं होगा, तब तक इट हैज द पोटेंशियल ऑफ बिकमिंग इनटू अ कंप्लीट फॉरेस्ट. ओके, of giving rise to thousands and thousands of more trees. तो सेम वे हमें देखना है कि जब तक हमारा कारण शरीर डिसइंटीग्रेट नहीं हो जाता, तब तक we have to keep coming back in this samsara. So we do not get moksha till and unless the Kaarana Shareeram also means all the three bodies are disintegrated, or we lose all the three bodies. तो ये स्थूल शरीरम छोड़ने के बाद तो मोक्ष है ही नहीं, but understand that सूक्ष्म शरीर भी जब छूट जाता है, प्रलय काले also, that is also not liberation, that is also not moksha. Liberation comes, you get free only when this third body is dropped, and that happens jnana anantaram. And then we were talking about Satyavastu and Mithya-vastu. That is when we had to stop last class, right? So Satyavastu kya hai? Satyavastu is something that has an absolute existence, absolute reality. Its existence is not dependent on anything. Its existence is not even dependent on time. Okay, so it is trikale api tishtati, means it is present in the past also, in the present also, and it is going to be existing in the future also. So that is called trikale api tishtati. It is existent in all the three states of time. तो और ये चीज जो सत्य वस्तु है, उसका एग्जिस्टेंस किसी के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट नहीं है. इट हैज एब्सोल्यूट एग्जिस्टेंस. इवन इफ the universe gets resolved, nothing is going to happen to the Sattvastu. Then what is Mithya-vastu? Mithya-vastu is something that has dependent reality. Its existence, it cannot exist on its own. जैसे फिर हमने बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स दिए थे कि the pot, okay, the reality of the pot, it depends on the clay. So the pot has dependent reality. So the pot is Mithya-vastu. In the same way, gold, okay, the ornaments which are made of gold, ornaments have dependent reality. Their reality depends on the gold. So now in these cases, relatively we can say that gold is Satyam. It is the adhishthanam, it is the substratum for the ornaments. But the ornaments is Mithya. It is just Nama Rupa given to the gold, a name and some form given to the gold. Then we were talking about the table. Okay. So table. So before knowing that table is Mithya, okay. With this understanding, we know that table is Mithya. Actually, it is nothing but wood. The moment we get the knowledge that, arey, ye to wood hai, it is just some name, some form given to wood. that is the moment we gain that knowledge. That is the moment our ignorance about the existence of the table it goes. अब तक हम ये सोच रहे थे कि हाँ table is right. We kept on saying कि ये table है ही. We didn't know till now that the existence of the table actually belonged to the wood. Table का खुद का कोई अस्तित्व ही नहीं है. Its existence is totally dependent on the wood. So, if we say that there is something called a table, Vedanta says that we say that only because of our ignorance. Because of our ignorance, we are missing on the real thing, which is the wood. Because we are again and again, we are just used to looking at the name and form as the real thing. Right? We are just used to looking at, oh, bangle hai. पर एक सेकेंड में अगर थोड़ा एनालाइज करेंगे तो समझेगा कि बैंगल नहीं है, it is just gold and it is just name and form given to gold. And the existence of the bangle actually depends on the gold. And the moment this realization comes, the table will disappear, the bangle will disappear, and in its place we will start seeing only the wood or only the gold. So during ignorance we say that table exists, but during knowledge we say that no, actually wood is there, actually wood exists. Okay. There is no substance called table. But remember one thing, okay? This is just a cognitive process. It is just an understanding. Actually, table kidhar bhi nahi jata hai. Actually, table does not go anywhere. Table is here only. The bangle is here only. But what happens? We just realize this truth. We just realize that she table to hai hi nahi. To mithya vastu. The sat of the table, the sat vastu of the table is actually the wood. So this is the definition of mithya. Mithya is something that we can dismiss after knowledge. समझे? वैसे if you will go to see, only relatively the wood can be called sat vastu. We can keep on breaking it down. Okay, ये आगे जाएंगे फिर देखेंगे कि वुड भी सत्वस्तु नहीं है, क्योंकि the reality of the wood actually depends on the fibers in it. So wood is mithya, the fibers are satyam. Further go down that okay, the fibers are also mithya. The reality of the fibers depends on the elements in it, on the carbons, the hydrogen, the oxygen in it. Further break it down. So that way you have to keep going down, and you will realize, you will keep on negating everything as mithya vastu. Arey, ye to mithya hai, because its existence is dependent on something else, and it does not have an absolute existence. Okay. So the moment we get this knowledge, then what happens? The mithya vastu completely disappears. Similarly, wave is also mithya. Jaise we said, pot is mithya, necklace is mithya, bangle is mithya, table is mithya, wave is also mithya. The moment you know that the content is water, you understand that wave is nothing but water only, just a different form given to water, right? And that way, what about ignorance? Ajnana. Ignorance is also dismissed by knowledge. Means, जब knowledge आता है, तो अज्ञान चला जाता है. the moment Jnana comes, that moment is the end of this Ajnana, ignorance. Jaise andhere, like if there is darkness, okay, we keep on searching that, oh, kaise mitaye is darkness ko? Okay, maybe let me get a jharu and let me just sweep off the darkness. Or I don't know, let me just maybe paint it off with white paint or something. How do I remove this darkness? There is only one way to remove the darkness, and that is switch on the light. Light a lamp. Just bring in light and darkness disappears. Same way, ignorance. It is dismissed by knowledge. The moment knowledge comes in, ignorance is removed. It is dismissed. And Mithya Vastu is also, it is dismissed by knowledge, right? So Mithya Vastu is also, figuratively, it is called avidya. It is called ignorance. And Kaarana Shareeram is also Mithya Vastu, okay? Because it does not have its own existence. Kaarana Shareeram is dependent on ignorance for its existence. ये हमने जब कारण शरीर का टॉपिक शुरू किया था, first thing we said that, right? We saw that 7 steps. कैसे ignorance में से हमें body embodiment मिलता है. So the ignorance is basically the cause for the Kaarana Shareeram. So Kaarana Shareeram is dependent on ignorance. Hence, Kaarana Shareeram is also Mithya Vastu. And the moment knowledge will come, the ignorance will disappear. And hence, when the cause will only disappear, obviously the Kaarana Shareeram will also disappear. Right? So the second aspect of the nature of the Kaarana Shareeram is that it is Mithya Vastu. Okay? So first it is Anadi, then it has a very long lifespan, but still it ends. And it is Mithya Vastu. It is not Satya Vastu. It is not absolute reality. And not only that, हमने बोला था कि the Sthula Shareeram is evident. It is visible to everyone. It is visible to myself also. And it is visible to others also. Sukshma Shareeram. Sukshma Shareeram is evident only to myself. Others, they cannot know the Sukshma Shareeram, right? It is visible, evident only to myself. But Kaarana Shareeram, it is not evident to me also, nor is it evident to others also. It is very, very subtle. It is more subtle even than the mind. It is unevident. It is undecipherable for anyone. इसीलिए कारण शरीर समझना इतना difficult है, because nobody knows what is there in our कारण शरीर. It is indistinguishable, and therefore it is called anirvachaniya. Okay, anirvachaniya means indistinguishable. It is undecipherable. That is called anirvachaniya. That is the third aspect of its nature. And also another thing, the last part of the last aspect of the nature of the Kaarana Shareeram, there are no separate bodies or separate parts alag-alag in the Kaarana Shareeram. Okay, just that there are no parts in a seed. Okay, a seed, एक बीज हम लेते हैं, तो it is just one singularity, right? बीज में से ही ट्री का ट्रंक निकलता है, ट्री के रूट्स निकलते हैं, branches, leaves, fruits, everything. But if you break the seed and see that, okay, maybe there is some tiny branch or some tiny fruit inside the seed, you look at it under the microscope, no, there is just one singularity. There are no parts in the seed. Just as the clay The clay is what? It is just a single blob, right? It's just a single blob of mass before it becomes a pot. एक pot बनने के बाद उसका shape आता है, उसके अलग अलग parts आते हैं. That okay, maybe this is the handle, this is the spout, this is the rim, this is the base, whatever. These are the walls. But वो बनने से पहले pot is nothing but a blob. It is just one singularity. And in Sanskrit, we call this aspect as Nirvikalpa Swarupam. Nirvikalpa means it has no duality. It has no other, means it has no part, no differentiation. It is just one whole principle. Just as the scientists say that they can never decipher what actually was the condition before the Big Bang. So they actually say that. In our words, we can say कि ये सृष्टि के पहले क्या था. Even the scientists cannot decipher what actually was the condition before the Big Bang. So they also call it the singularity. The singularity in which information is not available. Why? Because it is nirvikalpaka. There is no part, there are Can you all hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is my screen shared?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay. 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 Great. Yeah. So this is the nature of the Kaarana Shareeram, and Tattvabodha explains it. So Kaarana Shareeram Kim. So that is the question. So all our texts, no, they are in the form of question and answer. तो समझना बहुत easy हो जाता है. So what is Kaarana Shareeram? So first it says that it is anirvachya. Anirvachya, then anadi. Anirvachya, anadi, then avidya rupam. So you'll have to break the sandhi while reading it. Okay, anirvachya nadi avidya rupam. Shareera dvayasya matram. Then Sat Swarupa Ajnanam Nirvikalpaka Rupam Yad Asti Tat Kaarana Shareeram. So first it says Anirvachya. Anirvachya, we just explained, right? That Anirvachya means it is inexplicable, it is undecipherable, it is indistinguishable. You cannot explain it with words. Because it is not perceivable. So that is anirvachya. Then anadi, that we said first only, that it is beginningless. We cannot conceive of its beginning. We cannot comprehend when it started, when it came into being. Then avidya rupam. Avidya rupam, we just had this really long explanation. It is in the form of mithya. It is mithya swarupa. It is not sat swarupa. It has dependent reality which disappears as soon as the knowledge comes in. Then Shareera dvayasya karana matram. This is easy. So it is the only cause of the two bodies, the gross and the subtle bodies. And then Sat Swarupa Ajnanam. Sat Swarupa Ajnanam means ignorant of one's own true nature. It stays till we are ignorant of our true nature. Okay, Atma Jnana milne tak ye rehta hai. Uske baad it is dropped. It is no more there. And lastly, Nirvikalpaka Rupam. We said Nirvikalpaka Rupam means it is one singularity. It is free from duality. So the Shareeram, which has all these aspects in its nature, that Shareeram is called the causal body. So every individual has got these three Shareeram. It has got the Sthula Shareeram, the Sukshma Shareeram, and the Kaarana Shareeram. So the Shareera Trayam. So all of us are all the time wearing these three costumes. Okay? Can you tell me what you feel after knowing about these three bodies? Like, do you start seeing it like a costume that you're wearing? So for me, the revelation of this knowledge, it completely changed my outlook towards me. So now it's time for some homework. Okay, after very long, some homework. Slowly develop this practice. Okay, slowly develop the practice of identifying these are the three costumes that I am wearing. Objectively start looking at your three bodies. Okay, just like we are looking at our clothes, in the same way, look at your Sthula Shareeram objectively. Same way, look at your Sukshma Shareeram also. Sthula Shareeram to bahut easy ho jayega. Just like your clothes only, you have to look at your Sthula Shareeram because it is evident, right? It is tangible. Same way, look at your Sukshma Shareeram also. Your emotions, your thoughts. Start looking at it objectively, as if it is a costume, as if it is some act that you are doing. Even when you are like really angry, try and step back and okay, maybe you're expressing your anger also. At that time also, objectively start looking at yourself as if you are looking at your neighbor, as if you are looking at someone acting. Okay, objectively start looking at it. And same way, objectively start looking at all your experiences because they are coming from your Kaarana Shareeram. They are because of your karma phalas. So all the experiences that are coming, that also start looking at them as some costume that you are wearing, which you have to drop. Okay, it is not a permanent thing that you are going to wear. So that is one homework that we have to do. Okay. So with this, we finish the analysis of the three bodies. Any questions so far as the three bodies are concerned? So if there are no questions, then we'll go to the next level of analysis of the Jeeva. What are we doing right now? We are analyzing the Jeeva. We are analyzing the individual, okay, the microcosm. We call it Vyashti. So this is called, this part of the study is called Jeeva Vichaara in the Shastras, okay. So we finished one topic of Jeeva Vichaara. We analyzed the individual based on the three bodies, the Shareera Trayam. Now the next topic that we need to study after the Shareera Trayam is called Avastha Trayam. Now we are going to analyze the Jeeva based on the three states of experience that the Jiva goes through. Every individual, it goes through these three states of experience. The Avastha Trayam. So the first one is Jagrat Avastha. Okay, the waking state. हम सबको मालूम है जागृत अवस्था क्या होती है, the waking state. The second avastha is swapna avastha or dream state, and the third one is sushupti avastha, means deep sleep state. मतलब वो state कि जहां पे कोई dreams नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, you are in absolute deep sleep. Okay, now these are the three avasthas, and each of these three states of experience we are going to again analyze, we are going to study based on three factors. तो सबसे पहले हम देखेंगे कि ये तीनों स्टेट्स में, जागृत अवस्था, स्वप्नावस्था और सुषुप्ति अवस्था, उसमें what is the condition of our mind? कौन से स्टेट में हमारे मन, और in other words we call it the antakaran, right? So what is the state of the antakaran in each of this state of experience, in each of these avasthas? Because mind plays a prominent role in determining each state. अगर आप सोचने जाएंगे तो you will come to know that हाँ, ये तीनों अवस्था, it is basically because of the condition of our mind only. So the condition of the mind will be very important in determining each state. Then उसके बाद we'll study what is the nature of experience in each state. And finally, we'll study that which is the dominant medium which is involved or which is connected. सबसे active, सबसे prominent, सबसे important medium कौन सा है हर अवस्था में. So these are the three conditions, the three factors that we are going to look into. First is the condition of the mind, then the nature of the experience, and finally the dominant medium in each state. Okay, in each avastha. So let us look at them one by one. Okay, सबसे पहले we'll take the waking state of experience, the Jagrat Avastha. So Avastha basically it means a state of experience. Okay. Now what is the condition of the mind in this state of experience? In the Jagrat Avastha, what is the condition of the mind? Again, by mind we mean the Antakaranam. Okay. Yeah. So the mind means the Antakaranam, the internal organ. Remember the Antakaranam, no? It has 4 parts: Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara, and Chittam. Remember, no? Mana means the emotional and the doubt generating faculty of the mind. It generates the emotions. Then intellect, the discriminating faculty of the mind. Then Ahankara. Ahankara means I, identifying with this body, mind, sense complex. Okay, Ahankara and Mamakara, I and mine, that is Ahankara. And Chittam. Chittam is the memory faculty of the mind. Yaad hai na? These 4 faculties of the Antakaranam. So when we say mind, we are actually talking about the Antakaranam only. Okay. So waking state mein, the mind or the Antakaranam, it is fully functional. Okay, it is fully operational. Means all the 4 of its faculties are functioning. Obviously, na, think about yourself in Jagrat Avastha, in your waking state, your emotional faculty, the Manaha, that is active. Then the rational faculty, the thinking, the discriminating faculty, the Buddhi, that is active. Then your ego faculty. Obviously, when you are awake, it is very, very fully functional, right? Your ego faculty, the ahankara, and finally the memory faculty or the chittam. It is fully functional. Your memory is absolutely accessible to you in your waking hours, right? In your waking state. So all the four are fully functional. So therefore, the mind or the antakaranam, we say it is fully open. Okay, it is fully awake. It is fully functional. And since all these four faculties are functional, all these four experiences also will be there. We will be constantly experiencing emotions in our waking hours. We will be constantly even thinking, reasoning things out. Okay, we'll be making judgments, we'll be discriminating, we'll be gathering so much of fresh knowledge, right? Like in 1 second also so much of data we gather, right? The moment we open our eyes, the moment our ears hear something, we keep on gathering so much of fresh data, fresh knowledge. We keep on gathering fresh experiences. So all these things will be there in Jagrad Avastha. So this is the condition of the mind in Jagrad Avastha. Okay. It is fully functional, fully open. Now, what is the nature of experience in Jagrad Avastha? In Jagrad Avastha, we experience a world which is external to ourselves, which is external to our body-mind sense complex, Bahya Prapancha, or the external universe. And since it is an external universe, an objective universe, it is a concrete, tangible world of experience. Means we can touch it, we can feel it, we can keep perceiving it all the time. So we can very clearly and tangibly feel it. It is made out of tangible matter. So our experience in Jagrat Avastha, what is the nature of our experience? The nature of our experience is that it is external and it is concrete. It is external, it is concrete, and not only that, it is not available, it is not there only for me, myself, but it is there for other people also. It is a common public world. जागृत अवस्था में तो हमारा जो भी एक्सपीरियंस होता है it is an objective experience. It is not a personalized subjective experience. Okay, you will understand this better when we look at the swapna avastha. Okay, for right now, see, जागृत अवस्था में हम जो भी सब देख रहे हैं, it is a concrete experience which is experienced by others also. Objectively we see things, right? So it is, firstly, it is external, it is concrete, tangible, perceivable, then it is objective, and finally it is sense organ based, right? It is indriya janyam, sense organ based. That means in Jagrat Avastha, I experience the world with the help of the sense organs in the form of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Using my sense organs. Using the 5 sense organs, I receive the experiences in the form of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, and Gandha. And also we experience the consequent pleasures and pains, other responses. So these 4 adjectives we give. The nature of the experience in Jagrat Avastha, in the waking state, it is external, it is concrete, it is objective, and it is a sense organ based experience. That is what we have in Jagrat Avastha. And this experience involves both ways of transaction. Okay, the transaction involves receiving experiences, receiving knowledge, receiving information, and also responding to the world. So what happens in Jagrat Avastha? We actually act as a karta also and a bhokta also. This is a very important thing to note. Okay, in Jagrat Avastha, we are karta also, means we are the doer also, and we are the experiencer also. That means we are the bhokta also. So receiver as well as contributor. It is a two-way transaction. So this is the nature of experience in the waking state. And then what is the dominant medium which is involved in this state? So I said before that the waking state, okay, the experiences that we get in the waking state, how do they come? They come through sense organs. Okay, it is sense organ based experience. We use the sense organs, we use the physical body. Okay, and every sense organ, it has a physical location in the physical body. In Shastras, the physical location is called golakam. Okay, जैसे हमने बोला कि sense organs जो होते हैं, the shakti, the drishti, say we take the example of the eye. The drishti belongs to the Sukshma Shareeram. But we said that the physical organ eye is also necessary, right? Which belongs to the Sthula Shareeram. That organ, that sense organ is called the golakam. Okay? The physical organ eye is called golakam in Sanskrit, okay, in the Shastras. So similarly, the ear sense organ, that requires the ear golakam, and so on, all the sense organs. So the sense organs, they belong to the Sukshma Shareeram, and the golakam belongs to the Sthula Shareeram. So the sense organs which belong to the Sukshma Shareeram, they require the physical body for the transaction. Without the physical body, the sense organs cannot work. See, we've seen so many times that the physical body, if the physical organ eye is destroyed, we cannot see anything even though the drishti is there. That is why only organ transplant is possible, right? तुम्हारा physical organ eye खराब हो गया है, it is destroyed. So even though the Shakti is still there, the Sukshma Shareeram is still there, you cannot see it because the golakam is damaged. And that is why somebody whose physical eye is perfect and you are getting it, you get it transplanted, you can see because the Shakti is there, and now you got the physical organ also. The golakam is also fixed. Okay. So in short, sense organs require the golakam, and golakam requires the physical body. Therefore, the sense organs, they require the physical body for functioning. And since the Jagrat Avastha is sense organ based Avastha, that means it is heavily physical body oriented. So we say that Jagrat Avastha is Sthula Shareer Pradhan Avastha. Because I have to see an external world, right? When I'm awake, I see an external world, I experience an external world, right? And I have to operate with my sense organs, my Jnanendriyas, my Karmendriyas. So I require the physical body. The physical universe cannot be experienced without this physical body. So this is the third factor with regard to the Jagrat Avastha. So it is short and simple. We have seen all the three factors. Okay, so firstly, we saw what is the condition of the mind. So the condition of the mind is fully operational. The mind is fully active and all the four faculties are functioning. The nature of experience, it is external. Okay, सब बाहर से इंफॉर्मेशन हम लेते हैं और बाहर रिस्पॉन्स लेते हैं. Then it is concrete, it is tangible, we can touch and feel and perceive it. Then it is objective. It is not only for myself, it is for the whole world. And it is based on sense organs. And the dominant medium we saw is the gross body, the sthula sharira pradhanam. Right? So just before ending this, we will look at the definition given by Tattva Bodha. Okay? How does Tattva Bodha define Jagrata Avastha? It is the same thing, just for your information, that what does Tattva Bodha say about it. So Tattva Bodha asks, Jagrata Avastha ka. So it answers that Shrotradi Jnana Endriyaihi Shabdadi Vishayaischa Jnayate iti Yatsa Jagrat Avastha. Means, what is the Jagrat Avastha? Shrotradi Jnanendriya means ears and other Jnanendriyas, ears, etc., like eyes, skin, then smell, nose, tasting, tongue. So the Jnanendriyas, when the state in which these Jnanendriyas perceive sound through, perceive the sense objects like Shabda, Sparsha, Rasa, Rupa and Gandha. That Avastha is called Jagrat Avastha. Okay, the experience in which the sense objects like sound are perceived through sense organs like ears, etc. That is the waking state. And just one additional point, which you can just park it in your mind somewhere. So when the self, okay, when the Jeeva identifies with the Sthula Shareeram, that time it is called Vishwa. Okay, just this word, Shastra gives this word. So it is good for you to just note it. Okay, so in the waker is called the Vishwa, because that is when the self, the Jiva, is identifying with the Sthula Shareeram. Ki ha, I am this physical body. Okay? This is the Jagrat Avastha. Jagrat Avastha was like really simple. Now the same way, we'll go to the second state of experience, which is called the dream state. Swapna Avastha. And with regard to Swapna Avastha also, we have to see the same three factors. Now the condition of the mind or the Antakaranam. What is the condition of the mind in Swapna Avastha? So in dream state or Swapna Avastha, what happens? Our memory faculty alone is functioning. Only the Chittam is active. Only the Chittam is functioning. Whatever experiences we have gathered in the Jagrat Avastha, okay, waking state में हमने बहुत सारी चीजें experience की थी. All those experiences, they are registered in the memory slab of the mind. Remember that, no? जब अंतःकरण पढ़ा था तब they all are stored in the Chittam. So Jagrat Avastha can be compared to a recorder during which the mind is recording, and we said that it does not only record the audio and the video, but all the five sense input. So in Jagrat Avastha, the mind can register Shabda, it can record Shabda, it can record Sparsha, it can record Rupa, Rasa and Gandha. And it not only records the physical world, but the mind also records emotions. It also records feelings. So they are also registered in the part of the mind which we call Chittam, the Chittam faculty. Now, whatever is registered in the chittam, in the waking state, when you are in swapna avastha, okay, or when you are in the dream state, that time all this is thrown out again. Okay, so the mind at this time, first in the Jagrata avastha, mind was acting as a recorder. But now in swapna avastha, mind is acting as a player. Whatever it has recorded, it is playing it. It is projecting it out. So whatever emotions we experience in our dream, whatever experiences are there in our dream, they are not freshly received emotions. We do not receive any fresh emotions. We do not receive any fresh information from the external world. We are only replaying the recorded emotion. Understood? There is nothing new coming in. We are just replaying it, whatever was recorded. Therefore, everything that happens in the dream is only from the memory. So all the other faculties of the antakaranam, they are not functioning in swapnavastha. In the dream state, only the chittam is functioning. जागृत अवस्था में हमने बोला था ना कि चारों फैकल्टीज एक्टिव फुल्ली फंक्शनल होती है, पर स्वप्न अवस्था में सिर्फ चित्तम इज द फैकल्टी दैट इज फंक्शनिंग. मनः, the emotional faculty is not functioning in dream state. There are no fresh emotions that are generated. Yes, हमको लगता है कि वो dream में भी we feel happy, we feel sad, but they are recorded emotions. Okay, we are just playing it out, we're just projecting it out. Then the rational faculty, the buddhi, that is also not functioning in dream. Even the ego faculty is not functioning. Ahankara, the I faculty is not functioning. हमें लगता है कि no, it is functioning. I see myself also in the dream and I identify with myself, but that is a projection of you. Okay, that is a dream you. That is not this physical body you, right? So the ahankara faculty is also not functioning. The ego experienced in the dream is just the memory ego, which identifies with the dream body and not the physical body. The fresh ego is not functioning. So out of the 4 faculties of the antakaranam, only one faculty is functioning in the dream state, and that faculty is chittam or memory. So now if we compare, तो जागृत अवस्था में क्या था? So in Jagrat Avastha, the mind was fully functional. All the 4 faculties of the mind were active, right? But in Swapna Avastha, we have a partially functioning mind. Only the chittam or memory faculty is active and functioning. Okay? So this is the condition of our mind in Swapna Avastha. It is only partially operational. So we'll look at the nature of experience and the dominant medium in the next class. So for now, we are doing this Avastha Trayam. We've already seen the Jagrat Avastha, the waking state. We'll complete the Avastha Trayam in the next class. Okay, we'll complete the Swapna Avastha and then we'll look into the Sushupti Avastha. Okay. Any questions? All right, let me then. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.